You're lying in bed, the room is quiet, and suddenly your brain replays that one conversation from earlier, that tiny sentence you said, the way your voice sounded, the look on their face, and now your mind won't let it go. You analyze it from every angle. Why did I say that? Did I sound stupid? Did they think I was weird? Nothing bad actually happened. No one confronted you, no one rejected you, but your body feels tense anyway, almost threatened. And the strangest part is this: you can't stop replaying it, even though you want to. If this happens to you, understand something important. Your brain was never designed for peace. It was designed for survival. And for most of human history, survival depended on one thing: staying accepted by the group. Thousands of years ago, being socially rejected didn't just hurt your feelings, it meant isolation. Isolation meant vulnerability, and vulnerability could mean death. So your nervous system evolved to treat social mistakes as threats. When you replay a conversation, your brain is not being dramatic. It's scanning for danger. It's asking one silent question: did I damage my position in the tribe? That uncomfortable tightening in your chest, that heat in your face when you remember what you said, that's your threat detection system activating. Social embarrassment lights up similar brain regions as physical pain. To your biology, being judged negatively is not a small event. It's a signal that your social safety might be unstable, and the brain hates instability, so it replays the memory, trying to detect what went wrong. But it goes deeper than embarrassment. It's about identity. Every time you speak, you're presenting a version of yourself: capable, intelligent, calm, interesting. You don't consciously think about it, but you're constantly managing how you're perceived. When you replay a conversation, what you're really asking is, did I protect that version of myself, or did I crack it? If you suspect that you looked awkward, needy, annoying, or less competent than you intended, your brain interprets that as a status drop, and status, psychologically, equals safety. This is known as social evaluation threat, the fear of being judged negatively by others. The brain would rather overanalyze for hours than risk missing a potential threat to your reputation, even if the threat is tiny, even if it's imagined. Your mind prefers false alarms over missed dangers, so it keeps scanning. There's another mechanism at work called the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain hates unfinished loops. If a conversation ends without clear emotional closure, no reassurance, no strong positive signal, your mind keeps it open, like a browser tab you forgot to close. Why did they pause before answering? Why did they say it like that? Did I overshare? Uncertainty creates an open loop, and open loops demand attention. The brain replays the memory, trying to complete it, trying to find certainty where there may be none. The problem is that you think you're solving it. You're not. You're trying to gain control over something that already happened. Rumination feels productive because your brain releases small amounts of dopamine when you search for answers. It tricks you into thinking, if I just think about this a little more, I'll fix it. But you can't fix the past, so the loop continues. The more emotionally important the person was, a crush, a boss, someone you admire, someone whose opinion matters, the stronger the replay becomes. Because now it's not just about words, it's about belonging, it's about worth, it's about how you believe others see you. The higher the perceived social stakes, the more aggressively your brain reviews the footage. And notice when this usually happens: at night, in silence, when there are no distractions. When your brain has no new input to process, it defaults to unresolved social memories. It pulls them forward because, from a survival perspective, unfinished social business is more important than random thoughts. The quieter your environment gets, the louder the replay becomes. There's another mechanism at work called the control illusion hidden inside this pattern. When something feels uncertain, the brain seeks predictability. By replaying the conversation, your mind creates the illusion that it's reducing uncertainty. It feels like you're preparing for the future, learning from mistakes, optimizing your behavior. And sometimes small reflection is healthy, but rumination crosses the line when it becomes repetitive without resolution. At that point, it's no longer learning, it's looping.
People who replay conversations often care deeply about social harmony. They're sensitive to shifts in tone, facial expressions, subtle reactions. This sensitivity is not weakness, it's heightened social awareness. But when that awareness turns inward too aggressively, it becomes self-surveillance. You stop observing others and start dissecting yourself. Every word becomes evidence. Every pause becomes suspicious. Another layer is perfectionism. If you hold yourself to a high internal standard of being articulate, composed, impressive, then even minor deviations feel magnified. You don't replay conversations because they were disasters, you replay them because they weren't perfect, and perfection is a moving target your brain can never fully hit. What makes this pattern exhausting is that it rarely gets closure. You don't get new information, you don't get confirmation, you just get more interpretations, and the brain confuses interpretation with insight. It feels active, analytical, responsible, but underneath it there's anxiety, a fear of having lost control over how you're perceived. Here's the shift most people never make. The brain replays conversations not because you're broken or insecure beyond repair, it does it because you care about connection. It wants to protect your place in the social world. It just hasn't updated its threat settings for modern life. One awkward sentence will not exile you. One strange joke will not erase your worth. Most people are too busy replaying their own conversations to obsess over yours. When you recognize that this is your survival wiring scanning for danger, something softens. Instead of arguing with the thought, you can label it. This is my brain trying to protect my social standing. Awareness reduces intensity. The brain calms when it feels understood. And ironically, the moment you stop trying to solve the conversation is often the moment it fades. You may not stop replaying conversations overnight, but once you understand why it happens, it loses its mystery. And when something loses its mystery, it loses its power. Your mind isn't attacking you, it's protecting you in the only way it knows how. The real growth isn't in eliminating the replay, it's in not believing every alarm your brain sounds.
If this hit a little too close to home, I'd love to hear it. Drop a comment and tell me what's one conversation your brain just won't let go of. You're not the only one, even if it feels that way. And if you want more deep dives into why your mind does what it does, subscribe and stay with me. We're going to understand it all, step by step.